Okay, good day and welcome to Dungeon Mizer. Today, Hour of Devastation, booster pack opening. I think I give this warning on just about every booster box I open. Don't crack open booster boxes. It's not worth your money. Buy the cards you want to buy, save these for drafts, so on and so forth. Don't do crack, that's all I say. And if you're wondering about the finger, there was a fight at my house between a steak knife and a pack of frozen hot dogs, and my finger lost. But enough of that. Steak knife again, be careful, and let's get right to cracking this bad boy open. Angel of the Pharaoh God, Sinuous Striker, not bad. Ominous Sphinx, that can go a long way. And, oh, Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign, look at that. Mythic, very first pack. Yay, Mythic. Crappy land. And an Earthshaker Kenra. Oh, still decent, right? Yeah, very cool. Trencher, Hypnu River, a Braid, very good removal spell. An Hour Promise, search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. If you control 3 or more deserts, create 2 black zombie creature tokens. And you know what? I was actually experimenting with my mono black zombie deck, making it a black-green deck. And a foil Gilded Ceradon, full art swamp, and warrior, who cares? Unsummon, very handy. Return target creature to its owner's hand. I'm thinking of using these and making a mill deck. Of course, milling someone out is always hilarious. Oh, Gideon's Defeat. That's good. 1 drop. Jace's Defeat. My oh my oh my. Devotee of Strength. 3/2 for 3, and you can give it +2/+2 until end of turn for 5. And Scavenger Grounds. Add colorless mana to your mana pool, or a waste to your mana pool. Sacrifice a desert, exile all cards from all graveyard. I don't want anyone using that against me and my graveyard shenanigans with my deserts. Chandra's Defeat, I'm getting all the defeats. Unraveling Mummy. That was used against me, and I used it against others in pre-release, and it worked out quite nicely. Hour of Glory. Exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand and exiles all cards from it with the same name. Good sideboard card. Main board, I don't think so. And a foil Doom Diviner. Pay 1, tap an untapped desert you control, you gain 1 life. Prowler. Unconventional Tactics. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay a planes. If you do, return Unconventional Tactics from your graveyard to your hand. Will that see standard play? Not sure, but it could. Doom Diviner, but not foil this time. Dagger of the Worthy. And Jeru with Eyes Open. 4/3 Vigilance for 5. When he enters the battlefield, search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, put it to your hand, then shuffle your library. If a source would deal damage to a Planeswalker you control, prevent 1 of that damage. Well, I guess this will be going in some Gideon Planeswalker decks, eh? Sifter Worm. Awesome. Bane Whip Punisher. Sand Strangler. God Pharaoh's Gift. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste until the end of the turn. Awesome card, except for cost 7. That is expensive. And just a bunch of crap. Oh, Riverhope. Shepard Dunes. Liliana's Defeat. Refuse to Cooperate. Very cool. Very cool. Red-blue burn deck. Maybe. Red-blue control. So I've been reading online, and a lot of the talk about this set is that the booster boxes are worth the least amount in terms of card value since Dragons of Tarkir. So we'll have to work hard to get our money back here. And when I say by working hard, I mean open packs of cards and hope we get something cool. Bloodwater Entity, Nissa's Defeat, I'm getting lots of defeat. Sand Strangler, Angel of Condemnation, 3/3 flyer with Vigilance for 4, 2 in a plains, tap it, exile target creature, or 2 in a plains, tap it, and exert it and exile it until Angel leaves the field. Vizier of the Anointed. This can be a very powerful card. You can search your library for a creature card with Eternalizer and Embalm, put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Whenever you activate an Eternalizer and Embalm ability, draw a card. So you're getting card draw. You can throw something super expensive in your graveyard and just pay the Embalm or Eternalize ability. You know, save it as a backup for later, or if you're running a black-blue zombie deck, this would be wicked. And Struggle to Survive, Ramnut Excavator. You may play land cards from your graveyard. Had this in pre-release, it worked quite nicely. Oh, Full Art Plains. Doomfall. Target opponent exiles a creature he or she controls. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. Not too bad, but I don't like that they get to choose their creature. I mean, like, if they got a whole bunch of crud on the board. It works if, you know, all they have is their Prince Ormondal out or whatever. Eternal of Harsh Truth Zombie Cleric. This is a candidate for a blue-black zombie deck. Afflict 2, whenever Eternal of Harsh Truth attacks and isn't blocked, draw a card. So if he's blocked, he does 2 damage. If he isn't blocked, he does 1 damage, but you get to draw a card. So this could be quite... Oop! Skip to the foil. Drilled Sandwalla. And Swarm Intelligence. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. Again, wicked. Like, think of a mill deck, this would be crazy, or a burn deck, crazy. But 7 mana. Ugh. It's too much. It is too... Another Doomfall, a Banewhip Punisher, Tenacious Hunter. 4, and it's a 4/4. As long as you can control a creature, or as long as a creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, Tenacious Hunter has Vigilance and Death Touch. Again, pre-release, it was a killer. Hour of Revelation. Hour of Revelation costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. Could be handy, but I still think it's a sideboard card. Supreme Will, yes! Now I've got a playset of these. It's 2 in an island. Choose 1. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3, or look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This is a handy card. This is actually, I don't know if this is going to be like one of those chase uncommons, but it is good. Devotee of Strength, doesn't impress me. Ramanat Ruins. In Oketra's Last Mercy, your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. I know some people have ran into a lot of problems when this was played against them, and you know what? If you had like a white-green cat deck, this might be alright, you know? Oh, I went too far. Accursed Horde, Fervent Paincaster. Could be good in a red deck. Unraveling Mummy, another one of those. And our uncommon, or rare, is Amit Eternal. This one I question. Is it good enough for a zombie deck? It is pretty cool. It does have that Afflict 3, so if they block it, they're going to lose 3 life. But, I mean, how many spells can be cast by your opponent, right? Because it's going to take that many -1/-1 counters, and if this doesn't do damage to that player next turn, then it's just going to keep piling on, so I'm not really sure. Oh, full art for Imaginary Threats. Creatures target opponents control attack this turn. If able, during that player's next untap step, creatures he or she controls don't untap. That could be pretty handy. I think it would have to be set up pretty well though. Bloodwater Entity, 3 for a 2/2 flyer with Prowess. And when it enters the battlefield, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Could be good. Dunes of the Dead. Whenever Dunes of the Dead is put into a graveyard from your battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So imagine if you put this in your deck, and it was, say, a black zombie deck, and I'm talking about this a lot because I play zombies right now, and you use Crypt Breaker to toss this into your graveyard, then you get a 2/2 black zombie, and I mean, like, it's pretty good. Resilient Kenra. Ooh, 2 for 2/2. When Resilient Kenra enters the battlefield, you may have target creature get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Resilient Kenra's power. So when it comes in, a target creature is going to get +2/+2, but then the Eternalize, which is 6, which is a little hefty, but it's going to come back as a 4/4 black zombie jackal wizard. So another creature is going to get +4/+4 when this re-enters the battlefield, as long as you can get to that Eternalize. In a 5/5er. Okay, that was the same as the other pack. Another Dunes of the Dead. Struggle to survive. Struggle deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. Kind of badass. Imminent Doom. Imminent Doom enters the battlefield with a Doom counter on it. Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of Doom counters on Imminent Doom deals that much damage to target creature or player, then put a Doom counter on Imminent Doom. This seems very much like Brain in a Jar, which I liked. But you certainly, this is the build around card. You wouldn't just throw this in for the hell of it. Sunset Pyramid enters the battlefield with 3 brick counters on it. Pay 2 and remove a brick counter from Sunset Pyramid, draw a card. 2 and tap it and scry 1. For a draft or something, awesome. Constructed? I don't think so. Inferno Jet, 6 damage to target opponent. I like that, but 6 is a lot to cast, but it does have cycling. Desert's Hold. Enchant creature. When Desert's Hold enters the battlefield, if you control a desert or there is a desert card in your graveyard, you gain 3 life. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Super useful against those pesky gods that are indestructible and go back to the hand if they die. And Leaf to Chance. Return any number of target permanents you own to your hand. Discard any number of cards. Draw that many cards. Quarry Beetle. Return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. See, if you played that black-green zombie deck I was telling you about. If you Rivulet. Sheffet Dunes. Earthshaker Kenra. This is not a bad card. 2/1 for 2 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. So you're almost guaranteed to get in for 2. I mean, pretty good. And it eternalizes now. It's going to come back. That means anything with 4 or less can do it in. But still, it still comes in and it still has haste. Crook of Condemnation. Pay 1, exile target card from a graveyard. Exile Crook of Condemnation, exile all cards from all graveyards. Well, that's some graveyard hate, but there's lots of graveyard shenanigans. Saving Grace. Flash, enchant creature you control. When Saving Grace enters the battlefield, all damage that would be dealt this turn to you and permanents you control is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Enchanted creature gets +0/+3. Nice! That would stop someone's horde of whatever from attacking, or they do, and you're safe. Ominous Sphinx, 4/4 for 5 with flying. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Oh, Fraying Sanity. Good. That's my second one. 2 more to go. Here comes the mill deck. 2. Enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player puts the top X cards of his or her library into your graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard from anywhere this turn. So think about this. If you have 2 of these out, on my turn I play something that mills my opponent for 5. So they put the top 5 cards into their graveyard. Then at the end of the turn, the first one of these triggers. So now they have to put 5 more into the graveyard. Then the second one triggers. Well, at that point, 10 cards now were put in. Actually 15 cards. 5 from the first time, 10 from the second, so 15 cards. So if you have 2 of these out, you play something that mills them for 5, you're actually going to get 30 cards in their graveyard. This card will be banned, mark my words, but I'm gonna use it until it's banned. Gideon's defeat, good old Gideon, going down. Sinuous Striker, Riddle Form. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. So that's kind of decent because you've got a 2-drop that becomes a 3/3 flyer, and the bonus ability is 2 and an island scry 1. So that's the kind of ongoing bonus. And Neheb the Eternal. Alright, 5 for 4/6, afflict 3. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add a mountain to your mana pool for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. This could be crazy. This will be a commander in Commander. Crypt of the Eternals. Farm to market, destroy target attacking or blocking creature, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. I want a god! Where's the face of God? Oh, I used this on someone, actually a few people in pre-release, and it works like a charm. Enchant player, at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless he or she sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. They just really can't recover when you put this down, as long as you put it down early to mid-game. Late game, you know, they're usually solid enough, but... Oh, and a demon! Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. So he is a... It costs 8 to cast, with 3 of those being swamps, and he's an 8/8 flying trampler. Pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card, and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Will this be used in Standard? Probably not. It's very expensive. But, again, Commander, and a regular crappy land, and a token. Razaketh's right. Vizier of the True. Exert Vizier of the True as it attacks. When you exert a creature, tap target creature an opponent controls. That can be very powerful, and it's human, so if you're still interested in playing humans, you have till the end of September. And Chaos Maw, 7. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to each other creature, and it's a 6/6. I saw this used to great success, but also not great success in the pre-release. It makes a big bang when it comes in, but, you know, you're usually wiping out your own field at the same time. And if they have something to get rid of it after, then you're usually in trouble. Quarry Beetle. Come on, gods and planeswalkers, where are you? Merciless Eternal, Zombie Cleric. 3 for a 2/2, afflict 2, and you can pay 2 in a swamp, discard a card, and it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So if you're still looking to run those Madness decks, that would be a good one. Abade, strong card, 2 drops, deal 3 damage, or destroy target artifact. Oh, and Mirage Mirror. I used this in pre-release, it went really well. Some people send it because you have to pay 2 each turn that you want it to do something, but I like that because of its flexibility. Like, you know, I think it gives you a lot more, and 2 is not a lot. And junk. Apocalypse Demon. Apocalypse, so it's 6 flying, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap Apocalypse Demon unless you sacrifice another creature. Build around card. Boys and girls in internet land, build around card. Chandra's Defeat. Riddle Form again. Ooh, Obelisk Spider. I like this one. It's 3 for a 1/4 with reach. When it deals combat damage to a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. And whenever you put 1 or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, each opponent loses 1 life and gains 1 life. So, or I gain 1 life. So again, build around card, but you could do some wicked stuff with this card. And Rona's Last Stand. 2 drops, create a 5/4 green snake creature token. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. The upside of playing this with green is you have other green creatures that you can tap for mana. You could probably tap creatures just to pay for this. and not even have your lands tapped. So if they don't untap next step, big deal. You'll still have them all available, or most. Fervent Paincaster, Angel of the God Pharaoh, Claim to Fame. This is actually one of the more popular uncommons. Grind to Dust. Put a -1/-1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, so there you could use that with your Obelisk Spider. And then the Dust is exile any number of target creatures that have -1/-1 counters on them. And I've got a foil Torment of Venom. This is actually a good, if you're playing draft, this is a good one for you. Resolute Survivors, good one. Human, 3 for 3/3. You can exert it as it attacks. Whenever you exert a creature, Resolute Survivors deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. Imagine having 2 or 3 of these things out, and then a bunch of, say, of the 1-drop cats that are 1/1 lifelinks. That would be wicked. Ifnir Deadlands, Liliana's Defeat. Reason to Believe, 1 drop for scry 3, and then for 5, Aftermath. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's a creature card. If you don't, put it into your hand. Quite handy. Nimble Obstructionist, 2 for 3/1 flash, flying, cycling, and when you cycle it, counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. Powerful. Hash of Oasis, Razakat's Right, Sunscourge Champion. I like this card. You've got a humans deck, this is a good one. You gain life equal to its power when it enters the battlefield, but it also has Eternalize for 4, so it comes back in as a 4/4 black zombie human wizard with no mana cost. So if you play this and Eternalize it, you're getting 6 life out of it, and you're going to have a 2/3 and then a 4/4 later on. And Hostile Desert. Add a waste to your mana pool, pay 2, exile a land card from your graveyard. Hostile Desert becomes a 3/4 elemental creature until end of turn, still a land. Not as good as it looks, but if you're running deserts or colorless, then hey, run this, right? Farm to Market. Destroy target attacking or blocking creature. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. I think we've seen that before. Consign to Oblivion. 2. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then target opponent discards 2 cards. In control, that would be very good. Obeyed, good. Overwhelming Splendor. So it's 8. You enchant the player, it's a curse. Creatures enchanted player controls lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. Enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. Expensive, but you get this down, you have probably pretty close to decimated your opponent. Pretty good. Crypt of the Eternals, Merciless Eternal, Vile Manifestation, 2 for 0/4, and it gets +1/+0 for each card with Cycling Ring in your graveyard. This card itself cycles. Again, this is a build around. Oh yeah, baby! Woo! Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. Costs 7. He comes in with 7 loyalty counters. His +2 is target opponent exiles all cards from the top of his or her library, and he or she exiles a target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Its +1 ability is each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand. That can be very potent. Its -4 is 7 damage is dealt to target opponent or creature an opponent controls. And it's -12, its ultimate, exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls. Very, very powerful. And, nope, so, no god yet, but, boop, boop, boop. Nicol Bolas. Pulls, Jace's Defeat, Overcome, creatures you control get +2/+2 and get trampled to the end of turn, but 5 is expensive for that. Oh, Wildfire Eternal, 4 for a 1/4 with Afflict 4. So when this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 4 life. Whenever Wildfire Eternal attacks and isn't blocked, You may cast an instant or sorcery from your hand without paying its mana cost. Powerful. That is really powerful. But if you cast this on turn 4, are you going to actually have much else in your hand? Hopefully. Mill deck, anyone? Red-blue mill deck? Oh. Foil full art land. And some other crap. Appeal to Authority. Until end of turn, target creature gains trample and gets +S/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. So again, if you're running tokens, zombies, something like that, very cool. And then for just 2, tap up to 2 target creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain vigilance until the end of turn. So for 3, you can actually just about wipe out your opponent. Another Sun Scourge champion, awesome. Another Eternal of Harsh Truths. Blue black zombies, here I come. And oh, there we go, Samut the Tester. Okay, Planeswalker, Samut. Comes in, it costs 4, comes in with 4 loyalty counters. Its +1 is up to 1 target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Its -2 is that Samut deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and or players. And its ultimate is search your library for up to 2 creature cards and or Planeswalker cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. I wouldn't hesitate to play this. Foil Bloodwater Entity. And some junk. Sunset Pyramid. Vizier of the True. Vizier of the Anointed. And Crested Sunmare. I love this card. It's hilarious. I got this as my promo in one of the pre-releases, which you can see the video on Dungeon Mizer. So it costs 5, it comes in as a 5/5. Other horses you control have indestructible at the beginning of each end step, so that's you or your opponent. If you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. So of course you want to have some life gain, and I did, and I created a lot of horses and they trampled. Pump. So now I've got 2 of these. Need 2 more, and a mountain, and junk. Steward of Solidarity. Cost 2, it's a 2/2, you can tap it, exert it, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. That's okay. In sealed, that would be really good. Another Tenacious Hunter, Consigned to Oblivion, and Hour of Eternity. Here's the card that if it wasn't so expensive, it would be super powerful, but I guess that's why they made it so expensive. So it's going to cost you 3 islands and then XX for each time you want to multiply this. So exile X target creature cards from your graveyard. So if I want to exile 2, I'm going to have to pay 3 islands and then XX and XX. So it's going to cost me a grand total of 7 to exile 2 creature cards. Each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. Commander, for sure. Standard, probably not. If you do, it would be a 1/of. Fleet Survivors. Desert's Hold. Ooh, Abandoned Sarcophagus. It's 3, you may cast non-land cards from cycling from your graveyard. If a card with cycling would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. So you want to dump some cycling cards in your graveyard, then play this, and then basically you can play cards from your hand or your graveyard. Talk about flexibility. This could become a broken card, but for now I'm excited to have it. And a foil Sunset Pyramid. And we're on to the last pack, and not one god yet. 2 Planeswalkers though, don't get me wrong. They're good. Pretty. Mrs. Defeat. Vile Manifestation. Oh, ramming up Hydra. So it is 4 for 3/3. It has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. If you have a 1, you get +1/+1 if you control a desert, and you get another +1/+1 if there's a desert card in your graveyard, and a lot of the deserts have cycling, so it's not hard to do. Excellent card. And Swamp, Improving Combat. Not one god, boys and girls, not one god. But we did get those. Did we get anywhere near our money? Not even close. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, please send them and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Please hit that like button because it helps me immensely, especially with the healing of this Bobo that I've got. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway here on the channel fairly soon, probably the end of this week or the start of next week. So check back and check out our giveaway. I'll see you next time on Dungeon Mizer.